FIFA's presidential election. Our next guest helped to run Japan's failed bid to host the 2022 World Cup, saying that there's still time to rerun that bidding process if it's found to be tainted by corruption. Joining us now from Tokyo is Yuuichiro Nakajima. Thank you very much indeed for joining us, Yuuichiro-san. Can you believe this week's events at FIFA?
Yes, sadly I can. It was a long time in coming, and it's finally happened. I'm not saying that certain individuals are guilty or not guilty or anything like that, but certainly a scandal of this scale was always in the offing, and it was only a matter of time before it erupted.
Well, the president of FIFA, Sepp Blatter, seems intent on running for a fifth term today. Don't you think he's mortally wounded in the longer term?
Yes, well, what I actually think is that he may continue with the presidential election later today, and may well win because he has the support of the the countries in Asia and Africa and so on. So he may secure more than 140 votes in the first round, or indeed more than 105 if it goes to the second round. But I don't think his fifth term is going to be for very long. He may well have to go within a relatively short period of time, even if he does assume the presidency yet again.
What was he like to deal with?
Well, I haven't really dealt with him in that at any depth, but he's very charming. He's very personable. He makes you feel very comfortable and at ease. So he's a consummate politician in that respect, and that's partly the reason that he's managed to sort of hold on to power for so long.
Well, Tokyo's bid, of course, lost out to the controversial bid coming from Qatar. Tell me, how did that feel at the time, and were there any hints of corruption while that was going on with you?
Well, it was a tremendous surprise to us that Qatar won it. The fact that Japan lost was a huge disappointment, but hand on heart, I don't think any one of us was really surprised. But to lose to Qatar, that was the shock. And yeah, there were rumors, even in 2010 when we were doing the lobbying and campaigning and all of that. There were some very odd stories going around saying that this just cannot be right, and how can a country that's placed right in the desert be given the right to host the World Cup? That was already there around that time.
Okay, well, the thing is, that's now the Qatar bid won. We had, of course, Russia win the 2018 games. That's, I think, probably too late to have a rerun. How much pressure is on FIFA right now to have a rerun of that 2022 bid?
I think it's only going to grow unless Mr. Blatter does decide to step down at this juncture. If he stays on, then people will be looking for pressure points, and the bid process is certainly going to be one that they're obviously going to target, particularly the sponsors, certainly the nations that bid for the 22 World Cup and lost, and the world at large. They will want to know that whatever the Swiss authorities find out is corrected and rectified.
Well, isn't it time now, and we've had FIFA's president again, Sepp Blatter, talk about this being the turning point, and he wants to sort out FIFA and actually have a dramatic reform take place. Isn't it just too little, and isn't he too much part of the old machinery to do that anyway?
Well, I think the best thing to happen is for Mr. Blatter to step aside. Maybe Prince Ali should be given given the presidency, even on a pro tem basis, to sort this mess out, and then rerun the election at a later stage. And of course, Prince Ali will be very well placed to take the helm in an official capacity anyway. it's like Michel Platini said, we've just had enough. And, you know, the World Cup, sorry, not the World Cup, but the FIFA, the football, affects millions of people around the world, and, you know, we just cannot have this, this situation fester for any longer.